This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where tonight my friends and I will be playing the Mothership role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is called the Methuselah Archive. It was written by Morgan Llewellyn, who is also our game warden, and this is episode 3. Our recap will be given by Stuart Lively as his character, Dr. Jake Moyer. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Stuart?
Thanks, Tom. Record audio log. Personal log of Dr. Jake Moyer. I'm very glad that Dr. Callista Moon, psychologist, is with us on our investigation into the Hypnos 3 incident. Our primary investigative tool, Methuselah, is an organic archive that seems to have extreme psychological impacts on our team of researchers. I know for myself, and I believe for Dr. Tangent as well, Methuselah is pulling from us some quite disturbing memories. I'm comforted in knowing that Tab 7 is with us, so that at least one of us can be shielded from this effect. I believe our second venture into the Methuselah Archive has led to our first contact with one of the 12 colonists' memories, Ava, a brilliant cybernetics major celebrating her doctorate in the field and being chosen by Gaia to research post on Hypnos 3. The environment of the memory was a party in her honor. I wonder what the research post on Hypnos 3 would need a cybernetic specialist for, especially one that specializes in alien cybernetics. We must endeavor to uncover more of these memories to piece this all together. I am concerned that our own memories and experiences might muddy the memories of the colonists. Dr. Kusanagi discovered that Ava's focus was specifically in non-human cybernetics. This, I think, is important to follow up on. I'm still quite unnerved how easily Methuselah had me merged with Ava. My memories, her memories, then I was just her. If this interface with Methuselah went on too long, would we end up becoming lost to these other people's memories? I don't know. I'm not sure if I should be concerned. I'm not sure. Canister. Canister. Canister.
So as all of you are still enmeshed within within Methuselah, Dr. Tangent has once again vanished from your group. And Dr. Tangent, where we left off, is you were facing the mirror, and on the other side of the mirror was your twin sister, blood all over her face. You can't hear anything, but you can see her mouth screaming over and over again the word canister.
Yeah. And I don't physically hear it, but I hear it in my head ringing, because I know her voice and everything. So I know, and memory, I know how it sounded. And I think I drop the bottle of pills and I grab onto the sink, to the sink there. And I scream. I scream. How am I supposed to remember a fucking child's game? How? How do you expect me to remember that? Just fucking move on. I'm trying to. Move the fuck on, Rhea.
You hear Lee May's voice. The dead have such a difficult time with moving on.
But I can't. I mean, she lives in my brain constantly. I don't need her living in front of me. This is just a memory. Surely you can make her move on.
It's not how that works, Dr. Tangent. If it were that easy, somebody else a long time ago would have just purged her from your mind and you would move on. Unfortunately for you, it seems that she is deeply tied into your psyche, and by extent, your whole thought process. Every thought you seem to have routes back through her at some level. And here we exist in the realm of thought.
I mean, do you think you just told me something I don't already know? I mean, I'm fucking well aware of it.
Yes. Well,
I mean, can't you push a goddamn button and get me out of here?
if you would like to leave the session early, we're not keeping you here. You understand? You can
Uh,
rejoin your companions after they finish with the day's session.
yeah, I think I'd like that very much. Thank you. I can't do this anymore. Also, I'm gonna need my daily happy pill. Please, when I get out.
Yes, of course. Gemini 7 will have that for you.
Oh, fuck.
It'll be okay, Dr. Tangent.
Yeah, his heart is just racing, and I mean, he's keeping his eyes closed as much as possible because he knows when he opens them, he's just gonna see Rhea, you know. He's gonna see Rhea as he didn't see her, but imagines her in his mind in those moments.
And you feel the sudden shock as you're returned to your body. You're shivering in the cold. The pod opens, and you see Gemini 7 standing there with a towel and a robe.
Just,
How was your dreaming, Dr. Tangent?
oh God, not, this process has to be fixed. Jesus fucking Christ. Just, get me to my room. Can you do that? Can you help me to my room?
Let's just take my hand.
After a moment's, internal battle, he reaches out and takes Gemini 7's hand.
And he gently lifts you out of the pod, wraps you in a robe, and says, "Yes, let us get you back to your room."
Yep, thank you. Thank you.
Doctors, Dr. Tangent has left the session. He seems to be in some sort of mental distress. He's asked to take the session off.
Yeah. Lee May appears in front of you all. Yes, Dr. Tangent needs a break for today. Which is fine. If any of you at any time need to end the session early, please do not hesitate to inform us.
Do you think my assistance would be required? Is he very unwell?
Dr. Tangent seems to be failing to process something significant.
Yes,
Gemini
it has
7
been a
is
concern.
very attentive, but I don't know if he'll really be able to provide the appropriate therapeutic support.
I understand. Perhaps maybe I should check on him. Maybe I can calm him down.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think perhaps we should end the session at this point today.
Okay, well, if that is what you wish. Again, we have all the time in the world here. I mean, you're plotted to stay until the end of your project, and it's not like we have a whole list of people waiting, so we can end the session today.
Yeah, I would like to have a discussion with the others before we continue more.
Of course. And all of
Doctor-
you experience that shock of coming back into your bodies. And as each of the pods open, Gemini 7 is there to greet all of you, separate bodies, with robes and a towel.
Thank you, Gemini.
Thank you, Gemini 7.
Of course. It's my pleasure, truly.
Jim, did Dr. Tangent head to his quarters?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Okay.
He woke up
Dr.
just a
Boone.
little before you did.
Dr. I would suggest it has something to do with a childhood trauma. I've walked in on a few things in his mind, if you will. It has to do with a girl, a mirror. I don't understand what the problem is, but he seems to be traumatized by it.
Yes, I know a little of it, but he won't talk about it very much.
I think you know the broad strokes of it. So,
Obviously, there's something
Yeah.
deeper.
We can unpack that very shortly. Lee Make enters the room, says, well, let's all I'll take you up on the elevator. You can rejoin Dr. Tangent. Dinner will be served shortly as well.
I take the opportunity while they're talking for a few moments to carefully examine the coupling device that couples me into the program.
Yeah, so you take a look at it. You see that primarily it's a nest of fiber optic cabling that feeds into various. It seems multi-purpose. You could fit different models of androids into this thing.
Sure.
But it's all to establish the highest speed connections possible along multiple channels, as well as a power supply.
I'll figure it out eventually so that I can create a modem, if you will, a Wi-Fi link.
So are the rest of us back together then?
Yes. So you all get on the elevator. It goes back up to that main floor. You get back to the guest quarters. Dr. Tangent's door is closed, but the other 5 of you are there together upstairs.
I think it would be good if Dr. Moon would talk to Dr. Tangent.
Yes, Callista's
to.
gonna stop in her quarters first to grab Wadu in his little cage, and then she's gonna make her way back to Dr. Tangent's quarters and knock or ring the bell or however it works here.
Before May Lee
Beep, beep, beep.
departs, or Lee May departs,
Mhm.
I want Lee May. Can we get any information on the previous humans that were here working in this archive? Nothing that would breach their security of their project, but just on the like, when did they depart? Like, were they all healthy? I don't need medical records. Just I want to make sure, because we're obviously experiencing some.
They were all fine, Dr. Moyer. It takes people time to adjust to this kind of work. But I assure you, they were all fine. You have nothing to worry about.
Thank you so much. I feel much better.
Glad I could be of help.
Dr. Newman, Dr. von Neumann, you wanted to
Yeah.
speak with us about
Yeah,
your
I
experience.
would like to include Dr. Tangent and Dr. Moon as well. But yeah, I would like to have a conversation about privacy and the repercussions of what we have discovered, that the Methuselah Archive has recorded us, our memories, and our personalities. I believe that this is an important issue that we have to discuss together.
I'm not sure that that's precisely true. However, I do think that in order to access our mind and present the information, it is our mind. There aren't actually any barriers or doors in your brain. There's just
Yes.
information.
But the issue is that we were not informed that we would be recorded when we used the interface. This is a form of violation, and I believe that the remediation must be part of the discussion.
Are we being recorded?
Yeah, this is a discussion we must have.
Okay. Well, Dr. Moon, I assume you knock on Dr. Tangent's door.
Yes.
I think after a moment, it opens. You see Dr. Tangent is, I mean, obviously distressed. He has the robe on in the sense that it was, give it to him and he kind of wrapped it around his shoulders, and that's about it. So he's not like properly wearing it. But definitely kind of puffy eyes. A lot of anger under there too. A lot of things.
Yes, Tab let us know that you left the session early. I wanted to check on you to see if everything was all right.
Yeah, nothing's all right. Doctor, she is in there. She's in there. Rhea is in there.
Dear, she's in here,
well,
and it's picking up on that.
Yeah, which makes her in there, which means I have to face it. I have to look at her and be just reminded that I failed her over and over again, and it's breaking me more than when it happened. Have you ever relived a traumatic memory over and over again in real time?
I can't say that I have, and I'm sorry that this is happening to you. I want to do anything I can to help. The only thing that I could offer for advice is maybe try removing yourself from. Did you try the meditation? Maybe try removing yourself from the situation. Try looking at it from the outside.
I think Von Neumann saw this. I tried to remove myself once. I couldn't even do that.
Oh, dear. Don't tell me you're in that headspace again.
I mean, am I, if I'm reliving those memories? I'm reliving the memories of where I could not get myself to swallow a bottle of pills. I mean, it seems like I'm very firmly against my will in that headspace.
Well, I do want you to be able to work with what you're seeing without it traumatizing you so much. What has happened has happened. It can't change, but you can look at it and accept it and then realize that you can move on from it. You can become a whole person again.
Listen, Dr. Moon, you're fantastic psychologist. It's hard whenever you don't have to relive something, it's hard to move past it. But then when you're forced into that moment again, it becomes just, it's reality. You relive it and it's as real as it was then. And so moving past it is hard. It's just, I don't, how do I forget the life defining moment that me failing Rhea is. How do I forget? I mean, how am I going to succeed in helping anybody here if
My
that's
dear, we
going to be in the
never
way?
forget the harshest moments in our lives. They're always there, and it forms us as our personality grows as we get older. But you can't let it define who you are. You have to find something to look forward to get up to every day. You can't let this incident that happened so very long ago keep keep you imprisoned within your own thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, I know, and I try. After the first time I went in this time, just tried to clear it out, be open vessel or whatever to this, and just, I mean, immediately there, I was there, and I don't know that there's this part of my subconscious that's just takes over and runs with it, and it's like the whole fucking station is punishing me for my mistake after I've spent years punishing myself.
I'm very sorry. I wish I could make you not feel the way that you feel. How has your sleep been? How have you been eating? This is very important, not only to keep your body healthy, it keeps your mind healthier. Um,
Well, I had a wonderful th synthesized grilled cheese yesterday. Um, I, I, I mean, I sleep. I mean, it's wild that in there, she's there. In my sleep, she's there. The rest of you are in there. All these fucking androids that look the same are in there. So yeah, sleep's not been great either. So, I mean, do you have a sleep aid, something that can just shut my brain off?
well, I do have this, and she pulls out another lollipop. It's a special lollipop. It will help you sleep more deeply. I can't guarantee that you won't dream, but I'm hoping that you'll feel very well rested when you awake. And I was wondering if you wanted, Wadu does help me fall asleep every evening. He sings a gentle song, and it is quite sweet. And I wondered if you maybe wanted to have him for the evening.
I think of the lollipop, it cracks a smile in Tangent because this is Dr. Moon's, like, it's the quirk that works, right? It's her thing. The lollipop is, the thing that gets through a lot of the times. So that kind of centers him a little bit, and he's like, I mean, yeah, I mean, we can, if you would, I guess it's worth a try. I mean, if it'll help me sleep.
Yes, and do hold him. He does love it. And if he feels anxiety coming from you, he purrs very nicely. It's very calming and relaxing.
I think he takes Wadu and kind of pulls him in, and, you know, Tangent, as we established, never had a dog or a pet of any kind. So this is a foreign yet comforting feeling.
Okay, so as you're all preparing for dinner, um, Tav, you went off to find Li Mei.
Dr. May. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. May, may I speak with you for a few moments?
Yes, of course.
Part of my programming is kind of ingrained deep concern for the other doctors and their health and safety. I feel that Dr. Tangent may be experiencing too much distress. We might still be able to get him into the interface, but I think we need to ease him in a little slower. I have a proposal that should work. Um, I'm going to patch in a secondary symbiotic bypass so that Dr. Chanjin can remain outside of Methuselah while experiencing everything through my eyes and ears. I can, his mind won't be affecting Methuselah, but he will still be able to analyze the data that we discover and record to solve the initial mystery that we have been assigned to.
Well, that is a very lovely thought, have. It's simply an information bottleneck problem. His brain directly interfacing with Methuselah is a far better connection than trying to route through you.
Not if it damages his mind. As I say, it's only temporary until he can get his footing, and then he can return into the Methuselah.
I
Let's
have
try.
done this many times. And it's always best to push the little baby birds out of the nest.
I think it would be a good idea to at least ask him.
I mean, you can ask him.
Thank you. And I'll turn around and walk away and head towards Tangent's room. I don't know if Callista is still
Yeah.
there, but
I think you find the 5 humans at dinner.
Dr. Tangent, how are you feeling?
Cuddling a Wadu to his chest still. I'm better. Yeah, sorry. Looks over at Von Neumann, was like, yeah, so okay, just out with it, I guess. Dr. Von Neumann, you witnessed my failed suicide attempt from about 7 years ago. Sorry you had to see that. But
Oh,
that's what we're working with.
well, I am not concerned about the details. I am more concerned about the fact that there are memories that were taken from our minds without our consent, and we might have preferred that they were not taken from us and shared with others, and we do not want to have these type of violations occurring on an ongoing basis. If we do not have trust among our team, we do not have anything. We cannot be expected to work together, yeah? So, I believe that we must acknowledge that there is an issue that we did not predict, that some things were shared that perhaps we did not intend to, and we will make a priority to investigate the possibility of remediation, removal of these memories from the archive. The creators of the archive surely have thought about the problem of removal of bad memories or corrupted memories or something, and so there must be a mechanism somehow to remove these, and now it is our priority to discover what that mechanism is. And so
I
I'm
would
sorry,
be
Doc.
very interested to see a process like that.
Yeah,
I'm afraid,
it's-
Dr. Von Neumann, you're considering that you're thinking of Methuselah as a machine. I would propose now, how do we remove the memories of what you just said from our minds? It may not be possible. It may not be possible to remove anything from Methuselah once it knows the
yeah,
information.
it is a living being. It could be possible to remove pieces of it physically and have it repair itself.
We're talking about butchering it.
Well,
Would you
this is
propose removing parts
this
of
is
your own
an
brain?
interpretation of what I am proposing, but not necessarily. There are many possibilities. It's an investigation. What I'm saying
I
is
go-
that
I go
Yeah.
over and I sit next to Dr. Tangent.
I'm saying that anyone who wants to continue to use the Methuselah Archive is welcome to do so, but they must be aware of the risk and consent to the fact that there may be inadvertent sharing of memories that they did not intend.
Or maybe we need to look over our contracts again. Perhaps there was a clause in fine print that we gave our permission for this.
Well, I hope that is not the case. Suppose this is possible.
Do you have any memories that you don't want shared or that you'd be embarrassed? You're all human.
There's nothing in my mind that I am embarrassed of course, but the others.
Tangent just laughs at that statement, like a nervous, maddening laugh, just kind of like a quick, ha type thing.
I'm sure there are many of us that don't want to share everything of our lives. I mean, it's not like we're trying to keep some big, nefarious secret, but there's just a certain level of privacy that I think should be respected. But I agree with you, Dr. Moon, that we should go over our papers we signed for this, where this might be all null and void if we signed our rights away for this interface.
I'm not sure paperwork. I mean, we're here, right? I mean, what are we just going to walk away from it because we signed our memories away? Listen, I don't know how traumatic y'all's memories are, if they're, whatever. But I mean, we are here to figure something out, and I'm willing to try again. I'm just, you all kind of, I mean, have to be prepared for what I'm going to bring in with me. But I mean, as much as this is awful, I need this. I need to be in the field doing something meaningful, and this feels like something meaningful. So,
well, Dr. Tangent, we have seen your skeletons and the world did not collapse.
Dr. Tangent, I can offer you a possible alternative. I'm sure in your life you have played virtual reality games. I'm proposing an interface such as that. You will tap into my frame. I will interface with Methuselah, and you'll simply control me as if you were in a virtual reality game. Your mind then will not be linked directly into Methuselah. You'll be somewhat limited. You'll have to tell me what you want me to do. Dr. May is of the opinion, however, that, as she said, the little birds need to get kicked out of the nest. I'm not sure what that means, but...
Well, I'm pretty sure I was kicked out of the nest. That's what it felt like. Tab, I appreciate it. Maybe it's my sixth sense of wanting to punish myself over and over again. But I think I have to do this the way it's intended because, one, I think that's how it works, and that's how I can be useful.
Well, perhaps it will comfort you to know that there are some alternatives.
Yes. Yeah. If it gets too much, we can definitely explore other alternatives and if they will work. But I think, I I I don't want to keep failing, and maybe this is something I can not fail.
As you wish. Well, gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed your meal.
This was good.
It was all right for soup.
I mean, it was another grilled cheese sandwich for Dr. Tangent because comfort food is great.
At least have a pickle.
Next time.
That reminds me, I'm curious to know what happens if we get into the Methuselah program and your sexual fantasies and proclivities become part of the program. I've been very curious about human sexuality for a great deal of time.
There's always the word canister, I suppose.
So is there
I have also
anything?
found that. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, is there anything that anyone would like to do before you go to sleep? Including finishing that thought, Thom. But, sorry.
I was going to make a joke. That's all.
Okay. All right.
Dr. Moon, I would like to ask of you. I'm not sure if this was your specialty in psychology, but my experience with the Methuselah was wonderful, profound, but also disturbing in that I completely lost myself. I no longer recalled myself at all. And I was recalling complete thoughts and consciousness stream from Ava. My concern is if prolonged exposure might, would we know we are losing ourselves and having another consciousness, or not so much consciousness, but just memories and characteristics of others supersede our own. I know there's mental training, there's ways of hypnosis that can change people's behaviors and the way they react. So my question to you is there some way, some sort of test you can kind of run through with us to sort of go after every session we have with Methuselah, just sort of like a checklist, touchstones with each of us to make sure we're all kind of still there? Does that make sense?
It does, but what concerns me about what you experienced is Methuselah seems to have control. Methuselah was the one that merged your mind with Ava's, and Methuselah was the one that disconnected you from Ava's memories. So I'm not sure the only way would be disconnecting from Methuselah. Then Methuselah can't control you anymore. But within Methuselah, I don't know how much control we actually have. The only thing I could ask you is, while you were Ava, when you looked at yourself, did you look like her, or could you see parts of what you were wearing within the simulation?
I perceived being her, and just had a very rudimentary touchstone of myself as an observer. But yeah, I suppose control of it within the Methuselah interface is not so much my concern, but it's more or less after it, when we're out. I want to make sure there's no residual impact or effect on us. But I don't even know if that could be traced until it
I
might.
think that would be how you would be feeling after, if you're still retaining her thoughts, feelings. But whatever's inside your head, I'm not sure if they have something that they could plug in to see that everything of Ava had been removed, or if it just becomes part of your person.
Fascinating.
I think that could be tested right now. Dr. Moyer, do you remember Ava's thoughts?
I just remember Ava's thoughts as my own memories and recollection of what happened in the interface.
You have in fact been altered in some way. Your thoughts, her thoughts, are now your thoughts. That wasn't there before. So my guess is that Methuselah works in solving this mystery by having us become members of the original story, and then we'll literally know what happened.
Yeah, we'll have those
because our
memories.
thoughts will be there. But you're able to distinguish between your thoughts and her thoughts, yes?
Yeah, right now I
Now,
can. That's the good thing. That's where I'd like to keep returning to. I just want to make sure that's why I was asking Lee May earlier about how the previous group was when they left. But I
I
suppose
think Dr.
it's
I think Dr. Moon will notice if you start forgetting that your name is Dr. Jake Mosier and you start thinking that your name is Ava outside of Methuselah.
And maybe start keeping a diary of your experience after using Methuselah. I suggest we all do that.
that's a very good idea, Dr. Moon. Thank you. I will.
Anyone else?
Yeah. Can I find the paper that Dr. Ava Brailoff published or wrote that got her selected for Hypnos 3? If I can't find it, I'll just try and read what I can about it.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So as far as the computational archives of documents, um, here outside of the memory archive, um, you can find that Ava's work was about the integration of computerized control circuitry into alien bioforms. She's one of the pioneers of research into alien cybernetics. Her work began by creating cybernetic augmentations for plants, and that moved into fungoid into full-on alien biological material.
Okay, so it's not totally theoretical. There's also real,
No, there's an app. There's yeah.
definitely real application. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I'll just read those for until I get tired and I'll go to sleep.
Callista actually wants to go to is there like a hot tub or a whirlpool?
Yes.
She wants to go there to kind of relax before she goes to bed.
Okay. While you're doing that, um, you hear the sounds like of soft footsteps behind you. And you turn and you see Lee May. She's like enjoying the facilities, I see.
Oh, I thought I would take advantage, work, work, work. Need a little bit of relaxation time.
Yes, it's always good to unwind after a little bit of work. Do you care if I join you?
Oh no, come right along with me.
Yeah, so she gets in, and after a few moments, it's like, so how are you settling it?
I
Your
don't
second
know
day
if
here.
settled is the right word. I do feel out of my element somewhat.
Mhm.
I thought it would be more cut and dry with Methuselah. I didn't realize that my skills would be so useful. It's having quite a psychological impact on many of the members of our team. So,
Yes, I was curious how your team is holding up.
mm, um, some better than others, but I feel like we're all still learning the process.
Mhm. It gets easier. It's just one of those things where people have to confront themselves in a way that they never have needed to.
But that's the question. Why does one need to in order to interact with Methuselah? Why does Methuselah need that?
Well, ask Methuselah. The way that Methuselah interacts with the human mind, If it's just between the two of us here, no human being alive could tell you how Methuselah works. Methuselah is a completely artificial alien species that was designed by another completely artificial alien species. The fact that Methuselah interfaces with us at all is miraculous. Why it operates in the way that it does, why it goes through the entirety of your thought process in a way that is that intimate, is unknown. We only know that that is what it does.
But how does Methuselah see us or other species that it's interfaced with? Just as a curiosity?
Maybe. It may not even be aware of us at all.
But no one is in control of it. There's nobody holding any strings.
No, I don't know what you would leverage over it.
Well, if no one's controlling it, then what if it decides to do something not very nice?
Then I suppose we'll have to destroy it. We've done it before.
You have.
Methuselah is a second generation archive. The only problems we've had are with the first generation.
What happened with the first?
Well, the original archives, Adam and Eve, well, all I can say is that they were destroyed.
So there were two intertwined, working as one?
Adam and Eve were closely related, in the same star system even. But they were destroyed. Methuselah is their child of sorts, and is far more stable. All the second generation archives are far more stable.
And all the second archives are a progeny of this Adam and Eve?
That is correct.
Does it have the memories of its parents?
All archives share all memories that they can, but yes, Methuselah does contain the memories of Adam and Eve. At least up to a point.
I was going to say, so it would also retain the memories of its parents being destroyed.
It has memories of its parents and during the last data transferal process, which occurred 5 years before Adam and Eve were destroyed.
I wonder if Methuselah feels lost.
I don't know if Methuselah can be distilled down to such emotions or emotional states.
Well, you said before that Methuselah felt even more probably than what we could understand.
It's true. I don't know if it feels lost in the sense of not having a purpose. I don't know if Methuselah cares so much about human concerns about direction or purpose or meaning.
Something that I would like to converse with Methuselah about if I can. I don't know really how to communicate well with its system yet.
Well, there's no human alive anywhere who has interfaced with Methuselah more than I have. If you want to talk, I assume you wanted to speak directly, is the word you would use, to Methuselah.
Well, that would be preferable, but even if it wanted to communicate through images, such as psychic projections. Whatever's easier for it.
The kind of interfacing that you and your team are conducting is of a very safe variety. The type of interfacing that you are desiring is not so safe.
And what are the risks?
Well, any number of things. You may not be you by the end of it.
Well, will my brain melt? My face fall off? What?
No, your body will be fine.
But you're saying that Methuselah may take my mind.
And replace it with something else, maybe.
And has it done that before?
There have been known cases.
Well, I would like to interact with it on a more intimate basis, but I certainly don't want an interloper to use my body for nefarious purposes.
If that is a route that you wish to pursue, I could make that happen for you. As long as you acknowledge the risk that you're taking on personally.
Give me the night to think about it.
And she lingers in the hot tub for a couple of minutes. Well, I think I'm gonna go get some sleep. Good night,
Sweet
Callista.
dreams. Good night.
So, place your bets on the question I'm about to ask everybody. Dr. Tangen, what do you dream about?
Dr. Tangen. The dream is similar, but not the same. He is in the mobile laboratory on some unnamed planet where him and Rhea are studying, some ancient culture, through linguistics and sociolinguistics. He's working away on a computer, reviewing things that Rhea is in the field sending him. He's deep into it, and over his comms, which stay open, it's just him and Rhea. His comms are always open. He hears the word, he hears Rhea. Rhea talks a lot. She says the words she's reading. So it's not unusual for her to say a word out of context. So he's working. He hears the word canister. He keeps working. He hears it again, a little more, frantic, but this is Rhea. It's what she does. She just mumbles while she works. And then he hears screaming of the word canister. And he snaps to, but he can't move. He wants to move. He wants to run out that door. He wants to run to where his twin sister is doing her research, and he wants to do that. He wants his legs to be in motion, but they won't. And so as she screams canister, he is also screaming canister as he sits there unable to move and save his sister.
Dr. Moyer, what do you dream about?
Sort of starts back on Regulus 4, searching for other doctors to review medical records, something like that. But I cannot find them. I keep finding hints and pieces of elements of the party that Eva was at, and it keeps fusing back with the party. Regulus 4, shifts to a party-like event, and my concerns of finding a doctor or doctor's peers to review medical records shift back to celebrating Ava's achievements and posting on Hypnos 3. And it keeps going back and forth. And what used to be traumatizing of a memory, enough of a nightmare would be just Regulus 4. But now the nightmare is turning into not being able to land on what is more real or what is more concerning between Regulus 4 and the party now. Sort of a yo-yo dream until I fade off into nothingness.
Dr. von Neumann, what do you dream about?
Dr. von Neumann has another dream where he's flying through space, and it begins actually very pleasant, like almost like a waking dream, where he has control and he realizes, oh, this is quite beautiful, and he's flying and he can see galaxies and stars, and in the dim light between the stars, of course, the gases and things are very dim, and so as he's focusing in on one of these big long tendrils of gas, he starts to see that it's actually made up of a flowing bunch of particles. And as he approaches it and gets closer, he realizes that the particles look like people in the darkness. And then he can start to hear the screams as the people in this huge river of souls or something are being sucked forward towards this giant black hole. As he looks up and he sees the black hole, he realizes all at once that he's gotten too close. And there's no force in the universe that can pull him back. And so he gets sucked with everyone else down deeper and deeper into this black hole. Then he wakes up in a panic.
Dr. Kusanagi, what do you dream about?
I'm back on my home planet where I grew up, and I'm just eating a meal all alone. There's nobody else in the mansion, and as I'm cutting up my meat, I notice that my hand has been replaced by a robotic hand, and I check out other body parts and everything. As I look at it, I see it change into just robotic parts. I scream running throughout the mansion, and instead of the regular robot staff that we used to have, I just see Gemini 7 everywhere, just smiling and waving at me, telling me everything will be okay. And yeah, I think it will just continue on, just looping and looping, just like that.
Dr. Munn, what do you dream about?
Callista dreams that she's back in the Methuselah interface room with all the pods. And she's the only one in the room. And she slips off her clothes and gets in the pod. But this time, the liquid in the pod is warm and inviting. And she relaxes into it and lets it take her under. And when she opens her eyes, it's just blackness. The pod itself seems to be illuminated from some strange light, but everything around her is dark. And in the distance, in the dark, she hears a voice go, "Callista." And she gets up out of the pod and starts to follow it. But as soon as she thinks she's getting close to where she hears it, then she hears her voice in another direction, "Callista." And so she follows it. And this keeps happening. And then finally, she hears the voice right up next to her, behind her. "You wanted to talk with me?" And then she spins around. Nothing's there. And then it yells in her ear, "Wake up!" And she wakes up in complete panic.
Okay. So you all wake up in various states of restlessness, night sweats, heavy breathing. I assume you all gather together after getting ready. Um, Lee May comes to collect you all. Um, After you've had breakfast, I'm ready to take you down for your next archival session.
During breakfast, I'd like to bring something up. Doctors, I've been thinking all my life. I started by thinking that there's a big difference between uh, your biological brains and our mechanical minds. Um, you know my purpose, the reason why I was originally created, mostly for storage of critical information and the passing it on, and then purging. My mind can be erased so that I do not contain that information any longer. I was thinking that you might understand I have 3 levels in my brain. My primary level, however, is mostly storage of my primary functions, and that can't be erased. That is a blueprint for the way I function. That is superimposed into my secondary memory, which is where I function. I'm functioning there now. Uh, my tertiary function is this information. If something changes in my secondary function, I know it because my primary function tells me that something has changed. But humans don't have that ability. Dr. Moyer, you were talking about how do you know if something in your brain has been altered? And the problem is you don't have a reset. You don't have a way to go back and check if anything has been changed. Conversely, every time somebody says something to you, every time you open your eyes, every time you take a step, something has changed. So I'm not sure that your concern is much of a concern. You go into Methuselah, you're going to experience things. It doesn't matter whether you experience them or whether your mind experiences them. You might as well treat them like your own experiences. Does that make sense to you? Makes sense to me. Not sure it makes sense to you.
To a certain degree, it makes sense.
There's
They
a
are
lot of
memory.
philosophical stuff in there that I
Yeah.
waded through last night. The nature of your existence is one of them.
It makes
Insight.
Everything that we experience is what we experience. It sounds redundant, but
Okay.
maybe
Well,
if
Lee
you
May.
yeah, maybe if you embrace it, it'll make it easier to deal with.
Lee May comes to collect you all.
Actually, on our way down, I would like to talk to her a little bit about the idea
Yeah.
of deleting information from the archive and what they do in cases where they need to do that.
Oh. Gaia's modus operandi when it comes to archives is that they are for storage and aggregation, not for curating or selecting. It is against Gaia's policies to delete anything from an archive.
Well, what do you do with corrupted data?
That's part of the archive too. It's all information.
What if there is data like a virus that has the possibility to corrupt other data around it?
Yeah, but that's not quite how Methuselah operates. Methuselah is not so susceptible to what you would call a kind of technovirus, data corruption. These things don't have much applicability to Methuselah.
Is it possible to remove physically parts of the archive?
I mean, of course, but trying to locate where any given memory is stored on a brain of such volume simply cannot be done. Even if we wanted to remove some data, we would have no idea where it's actually stored.
See, well, that is not good news.
Dr. May, it's an existential question, but can Methuselah die?
All biological organisms can die. Methuselah just happens to be a very, very old one.
Interesting.
Does Methuselah experience emotion?
Of some kind.
And how
Well, let's give an
do you-
example. Do cats have emotions?
Sure.
yeah,
Philosophical
Sure.
debate.
Maybe. Do ants have emotions?
A singular or the hive? The whole.
That's the question of superorganisms, right? Is the ant merely a mechanistic appendage of a larger organism that is more consciously aware than an individual ant? Another question.
Humans are composed of trillions of cells.
Humans are just ecosystems. Your multicellular organisms are, in a sense, different organisms that are working together. Does your stomach have emotions? Well, that's a different set of cells that are biologically distinct from your skin cells. Do your skin have emotions? Your brain cells? So we have this question of levels of awareness. What is awareness? Are there levels to it? What level of being or what order of biological being gives rise to different levels of awareness?
I do
If
have
we
a
think
question
about
for
this-
you, Lee May. I'm sorry.
Is all
Oh.
I'm trying to say, and then I'll get to your question, Callista, is that higher level of functioning that you perceive to have higher order levels of emotions as opposed to other organisms. We could assume then that, a cat probably doesn't understand what shame is as an emotion. Are cats capable of experiencing shame? What higher levels of emotions are experienced by something like Methuselah? We can't even begin to guess.
I was just wondering, do you monitor Methuselah's brain waves? Perhaps Dr. Kusanagi would be able to compare those with other creatures to see if there's any similarities.
Well, it sounds like Dr. Kusanagi needs to return to us with a different research agenda. That's certainly possible, but I believe that it's out of scope for your current project.
Yeah, fair enough. I think the more information we have on how the archive operates or works, the easier it would be for us to gather the information about what actually happened on Hypnos 3. I was thinking all this talk about emotions. Cats do have some level of emotion, maybe not as sophisticated as ours, but as far as I know, every living thing has wants, and maybe not wants. Everything has needs. You need to eat, you need to sleep, whatever. Does Methuselah have those as well?
Well, this might be the part of the conversation where we need to stop referring to Methuselah as a singularity.
As in,
Some sections of Methuselah will be asleep while other sections of Methuselah are awake.
but it is one singular consciousness, or
As far as we know.
okay.
You're trying to define something that's not definable. Is your consciousness one single consciousness? Who knows?
In my,
I think the doctor is also implying that there are parts of Methuselah that are responsible for circulation, for metabolism, and so forth. It's not brain alone.
Yes, Methuselah is a highly specialized organism that at no point in its life has had to struggle for any of its physical needs to be met. So, on a certain level, Methuselah does not have what you might call a survival instinct. It didn't evolve, it was created. And it lives in a perfect environment. What exactly does an organism that has everything want?
Freedom.
Something novel, something it hasn't known before.
Yes, well, so far Methuselah seems pretty intent with information.
I think
Well,
our fears of the unknown are getting in our way. We need to stick to the job at hand.
okay, so you
I'm here for
reach.
1,000 scientists to study for 1,000 years.
I assume that you want to keep working with that same memory set, or do you want to try something else?
Let's see if we can get everything we can out of this current memory set before moving on.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, you know the drill. She gestures to the pods.
Yeah, once
So we
more
all be
into the
members of the
breach.
party.
Okay, so you all submerge, and Tav, you link.
Yes.
And Tav, you wake up. There is a young man in front of you. His red hair. Seems to be in his early 30s. He says, "Good morning."
Good morning. What's your name?
I'm Johann Dieter.
Ah, Johann. Nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you as well. What is your name?
My name is Artav Yodabyte 7. I'm
Well,
a functional memory retrieval and transportation unit.
yes, well, it is very nice to meet you, Artav.
Have I been purged? I sense that my existence is much longer than my current memory engrams.
Yes, you've been purged, and I do this all day, every day. Artav, you must understand. You mind if I just call you Tav?
That is acceptable. I hope that my performance was acceptable.
Yes, Tav, you performed spectacularly.
Thank you.
But all the things that you have forgotten. I envy you, honestly. To be wiped clean like that. I know so many people who would pay good money, very good money, if they could just wipe it all away. But we're not that kind of
Selective memory.
machines, are we?
No, you're not. You don't have selective memory selection or deletion. Do I have
Yes,
a new
well,
mission?
you do have a new mission. And I'm sure you'll remember me for as long as you need to before I'm
Well,
purged
you seem
away. And
very
it's as though it
pleasant.
never existed.
You seem very pleasant. It's always nice to meet somebody who's friendly and respectable.
Yeah, well, I definitely try. Your new mission, there has been a research project that has been launched, funded, and everything. Um, you will be embedded with a team of researchers from the University of Europa uh, to investigate the memory archives pertaining to the Hypnos 3 incident.
Excellent. Do I have anything to take with me? Any memory uh, recordings, or will those be supplied by the archive?
Those will be supplied by the archive.
Understood. When am I to leave?
Oh, well, I think that the team will be leaving, well, in 3 days. You'll have time to meet the team before they all go under for cryo.
Excellent. Well, until then, um, I sense that you are currently experiencing a low nutrition level. Are you hungry? Would you like to have lunch?
Oh, very perceptive. Yes, quite. I always forget how impressive your kind truly is. I'll be fine. I'll take my lunch break in about another hour or so. Uh, but I appreciate your concern. But please, the team is waiting to meet you just through the store.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much. You have been very friendly and helpful. I hope I see you again.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah, no, you go through the doors and you see 5 humans seated at a round table, all dressed very professionally.
Greetings. I am Artav Yodabyte 7. I am going to accompany you on your current mission.
Hello, Tab. I'm Callista Moon, psychologist.
Nice to meet you, Artav.
Psychologist.
I am Otto von Neumann, sophantologist.
Dr. Otto von Neumann. Tongue twister.
Dr. Tangen, linguist.
Dr. Lane Tangent, linguist.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, for what it's worth.
Dr. Hannah Kusanagi. I'm an exobiologist.
Dr.
Nice to meet you, Tav.
Kusanagi. Very nice to meet you. And your name?
Oh, I'm Dr. Moyer. I'm a surgeon pathologist.
Medical
Wonderful.
doctor.
Top 7.
Excellent. I look forward to serving you well on this trip. I hear it's going to be a long one.
Well, not
Yes,
for
we should have a
you.
long rest.
I will make sure that nothing at all happens to you while you are sleeping in a vulnerable position under my care.
You have all of my confidence, Tab.
Yeah, hey, could you access the gaming library over here?
Of course.
Could you can you download Frogger? It you know.
Frogger,
Yeah.
a
Old
program
game.
created 71. I have no idea what it was made. Interesting. Yes, I've got it. I'll install that on the ship.
Excellent. Excellent.
If there's anything I can do for anybody, please just ask. And then
Do
I
you
sort of
think
step
my
back in the
pet
background.
Wadu will be fine in cryo with me?
Yes, our cryo takes care of any life form.
Oh, good. I was very worried about that.
I'll make sure that there is some Wadu food on the ship.
Oh, thank you.
All right, the rest of you have a day to put in your high Frogger score before I settle in and take it from you.
This game is ancient. I've never seen this before. It's very
Yes.
interesting.
Do your best.
Class.
Don't get smashed by a bus. That's all.
There is a woman seated at the table now. Simply
Hello.
dressed. Hello. Pleased to meet you all. I'm Lee May.
Oh,
Hey,
Ah. Oh,
Are you
will you
coming
be
on the-
joining the team as well?
No, no, no. I'm here to pull you back up.
did we fall out?
You gonna pull us up from cryo? Are you a android as well?
No, no, no. You're dreaming very deeply today.
We have not even attempted to beat Dr. Tangent's record yet.
I
This
don't
happens
feel
from
like I'm
time to time.
sleeping.
Dreaming.
we've been dreaming. That's usually a very singular experience.
Usually. And she leans over and she stares at Dr. Tangent. You know the word.
Looks down at his arm.
You know the word.
Canister?
And when Dr. Tangent says canister, you're all now back in the present. You are gathered together in the kind of abstracted blankness of Methuselah.
What was that?
Not
Something
sure.
unexpected. That shouldn't be possible. Not with my memory construction. I have an internal chronometer that tells me the correct time date down to the millisecond.
Was that a
It was-
memory or was it a dream? I cannot tell the difference.
It was the first meeting of us all. But during the memory, I was unaware that I was not, that it wasn't real.
Yes, that's how it felt. It felt like it was happening now.
But it shouldn't feel that way for Tav. Tav, you should be aware.
Yes,
Yeah.
I should be aware. Something overrode my chronometer internally, at least temporarily. Is that what it's like to be you? Unawareness
Yes.
of your own existence? Very disturbing. Very interesting.
But not just your chronometer, right? You didn't have any memories from after that. And usually you can access all your memories, right?
Well, I thought that time is an odd thing, you know. There are many scientists who think that the future doesn't exist. But at that moment, for me, there was no future other than the moment I was in. I question my own existence. Something I shouldn't be able to do.
A voice none of you recognizes clears his throat. So, yes, Dr. Brydolf. It's such a pleasure to have you here on Hypnos 3. And Ava, you are stepping off of your shuttle. And there's this very well-dressed man. Yes, I'm Dr. Llewellyn, head researcher here.
Oh, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Yes, well, it's a pleasure to have you. Your work was quite astonishing for someone of your level of academic experience. It's like you're a mature member of the field. Truly, I'm the one who should be honored to meet you.
I can't wait
Dr.
to see the facility. I've heard so much about. Well, actually, not that much, but I've been quite eager.
Yes, well, we keep things pretty on the hush hush. Guy is very concerned about information security. You must understand. Competitors, industrial espionage, sabotage, all those things. Welcome to the wonderful corporate world.
Well, I can completely understand, but now that I'm here, I'd love to be debriefed a little bit more on what it is that is going on here and the research I'll be helping with.
Yes, well, we'll get to that in time. And you're seated at dinner. You're surrounded by who you've come to know as the research team. There are about 12 of you in total, counting yourself. You are seated next to a man who was introduced to you as Dr. Abraham Leibowitz. And he seems to, you get this feeling that he just has such contempt for you. Don't know why.
Oh. Hello, I'm Ava.
Yes.
Doctor.
Yes, I know.
Oh, is something the matter? Or?
No, nothing's the matter. Nothing's the matter. And he takes this long gulp of wine. No, it's a pleasure to have you on the team, really.
I look around to see, are there similar expressions on people's faces, or are there more friendly faces around the room?
Everybody seems to be in the middle of conversation. You see Dr. Cyrus Lane is giving you encouraging nods every so often, but he's on the other end of the table. And much like the party, most of these faces, they're a little more distinct than at the party, but there's some people here that you don't recognize.
Well, if there's
maybe there was that. He was at the party. He was screaming that word. What was that word? Screamed it over and over and over again.
Bannister. No, not Bannister.
Yeah, and maybe she was at the party too. Yeah, she was the one who was talking to Roderick.
Oh, yes. So I go over and introduce myself to them. If there's a moment after dinner.
Well, the dinner party doesn't seem to end.
Oh.
It seems to be, you don't remember getting here. You don't know how long you've been here. But the dinner just keeps going.
I'm pretty full. Is there a restroom here? Go to the powder room?
Yeah,
perhaps?
so you get up and you walk away from the table. Dr. Kusanagi, you feel a push on your shoulder. And a voice you haven't heard in a long time says, "You never took me anywhere near this nice."
And I look around. Look who's pushed me.
And seated right next to you is Ophelia.
Ophelia, what are you doing here?
Well, what do you think I'm doing here? It's not like you ever asked to see me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have taken you somewhere nice as this. You definitely deserved it. But
I mean, honestly, do you even know any of these fucking people?
I assume I don't recognize
No, you don't know anyone.
name. No, I don't. I have no idea. I just know that the food is very, very good. And
Right.
I have very good company now.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, you never. God, I swear, you're just. Do you ever
I
think of
made
the
some
world?
mistakes, I know. I made some mistakes.
We're not all fucking robots, okay? Right?
I know.
I don't know that you do. You what? Sometimes you look at me and I just imagine I'm just one of those little maid bots you had at that mansion of yours. You just see
No,
right through me.
I I mean, I'm sorry if I ever gave that impression. That's not definitely not what I mean, God,
We
I
all think it, by the way.
I see you for the first time in years, and this is, I mean, I deserve it, the way, but can we not just enjoy ourselves, please, and not?
What was that friend of yours from the lab? What was his name?
Um, Bert?
Bert. Yeah, Bert and I were talking actually just the other day, and Bert's just like, that Kusanagi, she'll just look right through you. So I'm just here to let you
No.
know that, just here to return the favor.
Did I ever really give you that impression? I mean, you were, you meant so much to me.
Ah, you tell me this now, after all this time.
I mean, better late than never, right?
Sure. Sure, Hannah. Better
By
late
the
than
way,
never.
I, I, I love your dress, Ophelia. It looks very good on you.
I'll be seeing you. And she stands up with her wine glass and she's gone.
Oh,
Like she evaporated the thin air.
oh my God. No, don't leave. I guess she just returned the favor.
Yeah, Ava, you're in the restroom. Um, and you hear crying. This sad, it sounds like a child crying.
Uh, I, I turn to try to find where the child is.
It's coming from one of the stalls. It's loud, full body sobbing, that
Oh,
sucking sound of mucus and
oh,
just this wailing.
hey there. Hey there. Are you okay? Is,
You,
is
you
there
you
something wrong?
you push open the door and you see this young child who looks vaguely familiar to you. They have the scrubber brush in their hand, and there's this overwhelming scent of bleach.
Oh, oh, oh my! Are you all right? Or are you hurt? What's happened?
Child doesn't say anything, just keeps just crying.
I looked them over. Do they? I mean, I'm guessing outwardly they look fine, but they're just traumatized or.
Yeah, they look. You see a slight bruising on the backside of their hand.
Oh, geez.
And you're seated back at the table. And all of you, it just smells overwhelmingly like bleach.
Is this
a smell? This is a smell that is particularly disturbing to Otto von Neumann. He's just going to sort of freeze.
And from the bathroom, you all now hear the sound of that child wailing.
Yeah, all the color is just going to drain from von Neumann's face.
Child part of this information, or are one of you projecting your child?
This is not possible.
Is it from your memory, Dr. Neumann?
I am not sure.
Try to
It
focus.
I mean, Agent recognizes, the look of unexpected shock of memory washing over you. This is you, von Neumann, isn't it?
Von Neumann reaches out and takes a glass of water, and you can see his hand shaking so bad the water is coming out of the glass. And he starts drinking it. I am not sure, Dr. Tangen.
And Ava, you're at the laboratory. Dr. Leibowitz is showing you, reluctantly showing you around.
Thank you so much for the tour of the facilities. I really did work hard to get here, Dr. Leibowitz, and I think given time, we should work well together.
Oh, what, after you come here and steal my fucking project?
I'm not here to steal anything. I'm here to join it.
Join it. Sure, you're here to join it. Just join.
That's what I was told. I was never told I was doing anything other than that.
Well, the specimens are in here, okay? And you enter this lab space, and there are these 4 glass cubes set up. And in each cube, you see an identical biological cybernetic entity. The closest thing you can think of is they look like pill bugs. There's this hard metal shell, and then there are these throbbing orange and yellows, pulsing flesh stuffed within them.
Oh my. This is fascinating. I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, well, that's... No, please go ahead.
Oh, no, I was speaking to the keeper.
Okay, yeah. What's up,
Ava has never seen anything like this before, correct?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to be... I didn't want
to
misremember here. Yeah, I've never seen anything like this before. This is fascinating.
Well, apparently you're the one who's going to be able to tell us what the fuck's going on.
Are these are the only specimens, or are there many more? Or
These are the 4 that we have. There will probably be more.
were they
Some
all
family found him, fished him out of the sea.
Oh my! How far from here? Or were they collected from the same region, or
Other side of the continent,
quite a ways
small
away?
place. Family was the only one around for miles, so it doesn't even have a name. That small.
Are they have they been questioned about their discovery and the location of the event?
They've been thoroughly questioned. It's not like they know anything. We might take you out there to the site where they were found. But now you definitely, and he looks, you definitely don't want to go down there.
Look over where
And you turn, and it's this long hallway. It reeks of bleach.
Ooh.
Dr. von Neumann, she's coming.
Von Neumann's going to suddenly like stand up, like as if at attention, and then just drop to his knees. And his eyes are just going to stay fixed on the ground, and he's going to start holding out his shaking hands as if for an inspection. And he's going to be like, Frau Schultz, I was not expecting to see you here, Frau Schultz. My hands are clean, Frau Schultz. I was not doing that thing that you said. I was not touching my schwanz, Frau Schultz.
Yeah, Ava, you recognize this man from dinner. It's in this hallway.
Oh. Hello there. And I look back briefly to Dr. Leibowitz to see his reaction to Dr. Neumann.
Dr. Leibowitz doesn't seem to be aware of anything.
So I'll turn away from Dr. Leibowitz and step towards the Dr. Neumann, who I'm not sure if I know if that's Dr. Neumann or not, but sir, what are you doing here?
As soon as he touches me, I'm just going to be like, Nein, this is not mine. Das is not mine. It is his. It is Dr. Moyer. The PP is Dr. Moyer's.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. No need to worry.
He's going to just be like, Nein, it must be finished before Frau Schultz comes back and sees. It must all be clean.
Ava, can I speak with you for a moment? This is Dr. Lane. You're seated in his office. I heard that Dr. Leibowitz has not been the most welcoming. And I want to apologize on behalf of the team. He seems to be under the impression that you're here to replace him, which is not true.
He did mention that. So maybe we can just simply, I don't know. He seems like a very competent doctor. If he's not being replaced, we should do our best to let him know that. It would be a shame to lose a capable person on the research team.
Yes, that's the way that we see it as well. So we're just wondering if we have complaint forms that you could fill out if you feel the need.
Oh, I don't feel the need to complain about this. I mean, if things were worse, maybe, but I'm used to working with people with all sorts of personalities. Some may be, not easy to work with, but still capable. I'm willing to work with a capable doctor, even if it is a little difficult. Results are more important.
Yes. Well, we knew we picked a good one. You're absolutely right. Results are the most important.
Thank you. I do have several questions about those creatures back there that I saw, but I suppose now is not the best time.
Well, there's never a good time, and you're holding a knife and you're slicing into one of these things. There's this acrid smell, this sticky, viscous white goo seems to be oozing from the wound. And this fusion between the cybernetic component and the flesh is so seamless. You've never seen anything just so complete in that way.
My goodness, this is so advanced. I've never seen anything like this before. And this is dead?
And it seems to be very much alive.
Oh my. How does Ava feel about cutting into something that's very much alive?
That's a question for you, Ava.
Oh,
This is about results, is it not?
This is about results, but I was hoping this might not be a living specimen that I might be hurting. I don't feel good about doing experimental surgery on something that's alive. Cybernetics is one thing, but exploratory surgery on something I'm unfamiliar with, this makes me feel a little
But did
uneasy.
you fly out all this way? I mean, you were in cryo for 35 years. Everyone back home is old or dead. You came all this way for this opportunity, and what, you're going to let some squeamishness get in the way?
Well, I wouldn't say squeamishness, just concern for another living entity. Are there others? Is there anyone? Are there any dead creatures that we can study first before we go exploring on a living creature? It would make sense because, for instance, even from a cold analytical perspective, we would want to not accidentally hurt or kill a living specimen. So if we could do a further full autopsy on one that's dead already, we would be able to better not harm.
As far as we know, Ava, that they don't feel pain. And that stuff that oozed out of it's on your fingers, and you're in the bathroom and you are scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing your hands. You're bleeding as the skin is cracking, but you can't stop scrubbing it. It has to be clean. She'll see if it's not clean. It has to be clean. You're choking on the smell of bleach. And now you're standing in a field on a hillside. You see Edelweiss growing. Your mother leans down and picks it and hands it to you. Here you go, Otto. A flower just for you.
Thank you, Mother.
And she coughs. You see blood in the handkerchief, but she quickly folds it and slips it into her pocket. Come along, dear. She reaches down to hold your hand.
Yes, mother.
And you wander the fields. You feel yourself, though, grow feverish. You're rushed to a hospital. You're given some medication. And the doctor says, "You've been such a good little patient. Here, have a lollipop."
Where is my mom?
Well, and you hear the sound of this emergency vehicle whooshing in your ears, and you're outside of a room. You see, you hear machinery or something beeping or hissing behind that door, but you're so scared. What do you do?
There's no choice. I have to open the door. So I will reach out slowly with shaking hand and open the door.
You push the door open and you see your mother. She's connected to all of this machinery. It's breathing for you. There's tubes around her mouth, so she can't talk to you. But she reaches her hand down to hold yours.
Oh, I will take her hand.
She gives it a very reassuring squeeze. But then slowly her grip weakens and weakens. And it goes totally slack.
I am still here, mother. Please don't go.
And you turn around and you see this young woman. She leans down next to you and says, Don't worry. We'll take good care of you."
I'm not sure that's much of a comfort, but yeah.
And as you're walking away, Ava, at this point your mother's dead by now. I mean, she would be 106 at this point. I mean, you lost 35 years.
Jeez.
And you're looking for her, but she's nowhere around. The robots are all here. They're always here. They ask you if you need anything.
Just looking for my mom.
Oh, don't you see? Hannah, she's off-world. She won't be back for another 6 weeks.
Me or to Ava? Or am I suddenly here?
Yeah, I'm talking to Hannah. Hannah, she won't be back for another 6 weeks.
She's always going on off-world.
Yes, well, when
Never
you are running the business one day, you'll understand. Sacrifices need to be made. But that's why we're here, to keep you company.
I'm not gonna join I'm not gonna follow in my parents' footsteps. I won't take over their business.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
By the way, I'm trying to figure out how to edit some settings in the synthesizer so I can print some things for myself. Would you be able to help me with that?
And you hear Ophelia Say, why the hell are you synthesizing Marlboro?
I mean, I saw a character in the book smoke it, so I thought, it's the only one I know.
And she
But
laughs
let's
and
give it a try.
she takes a cigarette from you and she takes a drag.
See? It's pretty good after the first few and you get used to it.
God,
You-
why?
Yeah,
Oh, why don't you just inject things like everyone else? God, that's vile.
this is
She's smiling. She hands it back to you.
It's authentic. You just, have to get used to it. Yeah, the first few are horrible, but, after half a pack or so, you get used to it.
Mhm. And Dr. Munn, you walk in on the two of them holding hands, and you just can't believe the betrayal.
Zan, what are you doing?
What? I'm not doing nothing. I'm just spending some quality time with my girlfriend.
But we're engaged. What are you doing?
Engaged?
Lanny, why are you with Zan? Why are you holding my fiance's hand?
Look, you weren't supposed to find out like this, okay?
I don't understand. How long has this been going on?
You're engaged? We've been together for 3 years now? And you were engaged?
No, she's confused. She's confused, Hannah. She's mistaken me for someone else. Can't you see?
Yeah, I thought it was weird. Like, we always told each other no secrets. So, and
Yes, well, there's plenty of secrets in that old dead house full of androids.
oh, robots, you mean? Androids are still somewhat living. Like, they're just metal and steel and no feelings at all. These things.
Reminds me of somebody that I know. And she looks at you with those hard eyes.
What happened, Ophelia? We used to be so happy together. And now you're always just trying to get under my skin, I feel.
Well, it's because you never listen to me. You never listen to me when I say canister! Canister! Dr. Tangent, it is coming over the comm system. Canister, god damn it!
Oh fuck. Okay. I'm coming. And run to the door.
And as you open the door, that is where we will end our session.
Jesus.
These are the days of our lives. Our players included Carrie Mary and Stuart Lively, Stefan Amshe, Kuhn Leighton, Kent Blue, and myself with Morgan Llewellyn as the game warden. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page and you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the strange and sometimes terrifying universe of the Mothership role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.